Hi, everyone. I'm Joanna Chong,
I'm Monty Panasa.
and welcome to At Home with Joan and Monty Talk Show. Hi, Monty. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. I've just got my cup of coffee.
We've got a very exciting show today. It's entertainment, social media platform, and boxing today. And without further ado, let's welcome Delroy onto the show today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Hello, Delroy. Tell us about yourself.
All right. I was born and raised in Jamaica, and I've been living in the United States since 1989.
Tell us what you do.
All right. So I am the founder and CEO of amsocial.net. Amsocial.net is a urban alternate site, social media. Primarily, it's similar to Facebook, have some of the same features as Facebook. However, I just thought it would be important and necessary for us to have something for our community due to recent censorship and people getting blocked from Facebook for expressing some of their views. Of course, America prides itself on freedom of speech. However, with our platform, we are aiming to spread positive messages. Anything will not go. Having said that, so we want a positive space for people who create, people who have an opinion, for people who are activists, or people who are involved in social justice and stuff like that. So that's what the platform primarily is for. Doesn't mean that anyone else is not welcome. By all means, everyone is welcome. However, we need to realize that we are creating a niche site for specific purposes.
Tell us about the name of your company, how it got established.
The parent company is called Ensound Media. That's the parent company for Amsocial. Ensound Media I started back in 1999, and that was started solely out of my interest to promote my own music. I'm also a recording artist. I have 2 albums to my credit. I promoted it primarily to promote my music, and it evolved in something bigger to the point where I was promoting for a lot of people in the gospel music area, such as Vicky Winans, Candy Staten, and a whole lot of other artists, Take Six, to name a few. And I just saw a need for independent artists or unsigned artists like myself who didn't have visibility to get more visibility. And so I widened up everything and started allowing everyone else in. Fast forward to 2006, I started what was at the time the largest unsigned artist music awards, known as the Ensound Music Awards. I did that for a period of 4 years. Then I decided to take a break and went back to school, got a bachelor's degree in media communications, and a year later, a master's degree in internet marketing. So that is primarily my background. So Amsocial is just an extension of, the knowledge that I've gained throughout my degree programs. And I decided to make something good.
There's another platform you've been experimenting with as well. Can you tell us about this application?
The other platform is called TubeView. And that one is an alternate to YouTube. Also, that was created primarily for the urban community, of which I'm a part. And so that, like Facebook, have been censoring people. So we just wanted a place that we can call our own, that we can share our own content. Of course, keep it positive. It is there for anyone who also create, anyone who has a voice or an opinion. And I know you can find that all over the internet. However, we want to centralize the black and brown experience, and that was the purpose, because it's easy to get lost on a platform as big as YouTube, especially when you're a small person trying to get that opportunity to break out. So one of the strong points of having a platform such as TubeView is that you get to create your own group and promote and market to your specific niche, whatever that niche may be.
You said you're a gospel singer. So could you sing for us? Maybe this is a light of mine.
Oh, you're
I'm
putting me
gonna
on the
let it
spot.
shine.
I don't like to be put placed on the spot, but it's okay. I just have to man up and do it. All right.
Yeah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I am gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Okay, that's enough. That's beautiful, man.
Thank you very much, Delroy.
You are welcome. I think this was probably the first time I've ever been placed on the spot, and I actually did it.
Thank you, Delroy. I'd like to introduce our next guest, Billy. Billy, tell us, when did you decide to become a boxer?
Delroy, you are a champion. We love you.
Thank you, Billy. I love you back, bro.
Your voice is being heard right now. We're going global.
Absolutely. Thank you.
My mission is I'm out to rock the world and cause a phenomenon, and you're part of it.
Awesome.
I'm on a mission. My mission is the transformation of the middle-aged man. Here we go. So, Joan,
Okay.
sorry. So you want me to
That's
go?
quite all right. That is quite all right. As long as you answer my question, Billy, when did you decide to become a boxer?
So it goes way, way back to when I was 5 years of age. I'm in my mum and dad's front room with my two older sisters, Mandy and Lisa, and we're rolling around the floor and they're beating me up again. What they used to do, they used to pin me to the floor. I used to have one sitting on my chest and one used to hold my arms back. And I'd be kicking and screaming and fighting. I couldn't fight them off. And I would get so upset. I used to hyperventilate and turn blue. I was like, oh, I thought I was going to die. In that moment, as a 5-year-old, I made the decision. I decided that no one was ever going to beat me, dominate me, hurt me, or get on top of me ever again. In that moment, I made an unconscious decision about myself that I was weak. So I believe there's always a reason why we do what we do. So my decision, my unconscious decision that I was weak, I had to prove and cover up and survive being weak. And that was why I became a fighter, a boxer. So then I was introduced to boxing at 8 years of age by my dad. He was a boxer. He was the Irish featherweight champion. He was very successful. Took me down the gym when I was 8, and I took it like a duck to a water because I was trying to prove something for myself. I was trying to prove I wasn't weak and I was good enough. And I excelled at boxing, and that was my initiation into something because I didn't get on very well at school. I'm dyslexic. I struggled. But sport was my outlet, and that was my way of proving something. I wanted to be different. I wanted to excel at something. And sport, and especially boxing, was the way for me to do it. And over the years, I won the British, the Commonwealth, the European, and the World Championships. So I put everything that I learned into action, and it was an amazing career, an amazing journey, and eventually achieving my dream. You talked about achieving your dream, and that's possible. That is possible. Delroy, you mentioned it, I believe. It's about dreams do come true, but without teamwork, the dream don't work. So I was very fortunate. I had a great group of people around me, and I pursued my dream, but it was a challenging one. It wasn't easy. It was a battle over the years, over many years.
Hi, Billy. Obviously, I remember bumping into you in Harpenden when I was, at Luton, and I saw you, and I walked past you, and I thought, that's the legendary Billy Schwer, which I, grew up to know. And you were so I was so humbled when you said, "Come and join me for some, breakfast." And for us growing up, you was the legendary icon. At what age did you begin competing as a professional boxer?
So Monty, back at you. We love you, Monty. Luton, we love you from Luton. You're the legend. You're the legendary Monty Panesar also. So I turned professional at 21, the age of 21. So I had my first boxing contest when I was 11. I become a national champion at 13, then 14. So then it was I represented my country, travelled all around the world. And at the age of 21, I decided to turn professional because I thought I'm good at this and I want to have a go at making a living out of it. So that was when I started, 21.
You've set up this new company called Man Up. This is your book, The Man Up, the world champion way.
Yeah.
Do you feel there's a gap that people need help between the age of 45 to 65 for motivational and still get that excitement in life?
I'm now a personal performance coach. And the reason why I position myself as a personal performance coach is because performance is very personal. What's going to have you perform and me perform and Joan perform and Delroy perform is they're all different. So we have to, as the expert now coach, I elicit what that is when I'm coaching a client, working with a client, and the guys that I work with are generally 40 plus. They're 40 plus, and because a lot of us, I'm 51, and I've been through some challenges. On my retirement from boxing, I found the transition to be very, very difficult. I went for an identity crisis. I had no future. I was lost. I was lost. I had nothing to fight for. I had no focus. I had no vision. It was all gone, and I struggled, and I had a really tough time. The first 2 years of my retirement from boxing were the worst 2 years of my life. I was depressed. I wrecked my marriage, which ended up in divorce. I got caught up in the 2008 recession. Remember that one? I got caught up in that, and I went bankrupt. I eventually went bankrupt. I lost everything. I had no money. I had no future. My home was repossessed. I moved back in with my parents, and I had to reinvent and recreate myself. I had a mental breakdown, but this was like 18 or so years ago. And mental health wasn't really talked about or discussed as openly as it is now. So it's very open. So back in those days, and I was embarrassed because I thought that I'm a former world champion. I should be able to deal with this. I should be able to handle it. I mean, I've been top of the bill in Las Vegas. I've traveled the world. I've been a world champion. And there I was defeated. And what was defeating me was myself. And I didn't know how to manage myself. And I struggled and crashed. I crashed and burned. And I hit the bottom. I hit rock bottom. And it was when I was at the bottom. I mean, for some of us to wake up, sometimes we need a wake-up call. And I got mine. When I hit the bottom, I realized that what I'm doing is just not working. And here's the thing that I discovered. I discovered that what had me be a champion in the ring was now having me fail outside of it. It was the paradox. Those attributes that had me win in the ring. I was aggressive. I was domineering. I was always right. I was selfish. That winning formula that I had, which worked really well in the boxing arena, but just didn't work for me in life. And I didn't know how to be any other way. I was stuck. And a lot of middle-aged guys, they're stuck because they've got what they've got and they think this is it. This is all they've got. So what I'm all about is the transformation of the middle-aged man and that's what the book's all about. Now, I call it Man Up, which is a little bit controversial because it's not about what you think it is. Manning up is not about being aggressive, domineering and overpowering people. It's not that at all. Now, I can talk about it because I'm a former world champion. I used to fight for a living. And I'm not talking about that at all. I'm talking about being vulnerable. I'm talking about openly sharing yourself with your people, with your partners, and just opening your heart so you can show up differently. Because what has you be the way that you are, it isn't who you are. There are so many facets to us. If you're willing to go and do the work, and I find not everyone can handle it because it's confronting to go and dismantle yourself, take yourself to pieces to discover who you really are. That's a real task. And I did that. Because I was always Billy the Boxer. All my life I've been Billy the Boxer. So there I am. I've retired from boxing, and now I'm just Billy. And then who's Billy? And those were the questions. Who am I? What am I doing? What's the point? What's my purpose in life? And I had to disrupt myself and really go to work on myself. I dismantled myself. I peeled back all the layers of my identity to discover who Billy is. And that's the journey that I've been on. So I can speak from my own experience of boxing in the ring and boxing in the boxing ring of life, the depression and the struggles that I've been in tough places. I've been in the depths of despair. I've had some dark nights, and to come and now here I am speaking to you guys, and I'm happier, more fulfilled and satisfied than I've ever been, ever. And it's an inside, and it's but it's an inside job. And I've grappled with that for the last 2 decades. I've been grappling with what is happiness? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. But you don't have to find it, because happiness is not lost. Just discover it. But happiness doesn't exist outside of yourself. It's an inside job. It's not in the car, the house, the clothes, the restaurants, the lifestyle. Happiness is not there. That has you feel good for a little while, or you might look good, but happiness doesn't reside there. So you have to discover it for yourself. And that's the journey that I like to take people on, for them to get themselves. And the results that I'm getting with working with people is, you can't imagine. It's transformational. It's life-changing. And I'm out to rock the world for people, because it ain't about me. It's about everyone else.
Yes. Preach it, Billy, preach it. You talked about mental boxing in your book, Man Up.
Yes.
Tell us about the mental boxing.
Well, it's about those two words came together. That's my brand, mental boxing. When I was in the depths of a despair, I was what I discovered, that I was having a mental boxing match with myself. So those two words fitted together, because I realized that, and we all do it. I mean, have you ever had a disagreement with yourself, like that internal conflict? No, the voice in your head, the one that's jabbing away. It's like jabbing away at you. Can you? Can't you? You're not good enough. Oh, you don't fit in. You don't belong. You can't do it. It's not possible for you. That conversation, that's a mental boxing match that we're having with ourselves. And then we have it with others. If you think about the conversations that you have sometimes with people, we kind of have a mental boxing experience. When you're in a dialogue with somebody, some people, you're trying to outmaneuver, outlanguage, you're trying to dominate, trying to be right, trying to force our point of view over. Yeah, it's like we're having a mental boxing experience. And then also we have, what about the mental boxing match you have with partners? I mean, have you ever had a disagreement or an argument with your partner? Like we all do, and nobody wins that one. It's like a mental boxing experience. So that's how those two words came together. So first and foremost, it's like just to recognize that the voice in your head is not who you are. It's separate yourself from the voice in your head. The stuff that you're saying to yourself, if you can take yourself out of yourself, out of your head, remove yourself and look at yourself from another dimension, like a helicopter, look over yourself, and then you can really just take the power away from that internal dialogue, because lots of it is not good. It's a destructive sometimes. So, I mean, look at yourself in the morning. What's the type of conversation that you have with yourself first thing in the morning? Is it inspiring? Is it empowering you? And if it's not, you've got to interrupt yourself somehow, because that doesn't serve you, doesn't serve anybody. It makes no difference to anybody. And listen, I've made so many mistakes in the past. I wish I could take the time back, but I can't. I have to live with what I've done, and I've made amends with the people that I needed to make amends with. I've given myself a break. I've forgiven myself. Give yourself a second shot at the title, because we've only got one life, and don't suffer anymore. Just give yourself a break and get the right support mechanism around you. Get some good people in your life that's going to support you and empower you, so you can do that with others and uplift everyone. If you're uplifting yourself, we can uplift others. Then we can all get what we want.
Yeah, Billy, you're a certified NLP coach and a public speaker. How important is that to you?
Well, it's everything. So what I've done, I've been studying human beings for the last 18 years. So when I hit the bottom, I realized I needed to do something about it. So what I started to do, I got myself a coach. All athletes have coaches, as you know. A lot of business people have coaches, but sometimes we need a coach for our lives. If you look at people, Amy Winehouse, Robin Williams, Michael Jackson, Elvis, to name a few, extraordinary people, but they just couldn't manage themselves and their lives. So the public speaking thing for me was a way of expressing myself and my learnings. So 18 years of studying human beings, I've spent thousands of hours in rooms with people having conversations about what it is to be a human being. I've got my certificates, I've got my diplomas, and I've got my life experiences. First and foremost is my own personal experience. So the public speaking is a way for me to express what I've learned and the stuff that I know that works for people. The coaching, the one-on-one coaching I do is really giving people an access to a future that they didn't even know existed. And that's exciting for me. That really excites me to take someone on a journey so they're going to get something they've never even thought was possible for themselves and their lives. And the transformation of the middle-aged man. Can you imagine a world full of transformed middle-aged men? The world would be a different place. The impact it would have on their relationships, their marriages, their kids, their businesses, everywhere. The impact would be huge. And that's what I'm up to.
That's wonderful. In closing, Billy, would you like to say any words of inspiration to viewers?
Absolutely. Look at living your life with passion, power, and purpose. And what you got to do, guys, commit to your dreams. Take an inspired action and make it happen. It's down to you because you are it. You are the one that you've been waiting for, and you deserve to have everything that you've ever wanted for yourself and your life. Now go and get it.
Yes. And likewise, Delroy.
Before I come into that, let me say Billy is serve as an inspiration to me right now because a lot of the things that he has gone through mentally, emotionally, physically, I've been through. And so I have to say, Billy, thank you for sharing so much with me. Now, as far as the future for sound entertainment and social and, everything that I do, my one singular desire is to make a difference, is to leave a legacy behind that will motivate, inspire, and just help people to be a better version of themselves. That is the one thing I ask for. I'm not looking to be rich. I'm not looking to be famous. I just want to leave my mark on mankind. That's it.
Thank you so much, guys. Monty, anything in closing?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much, Billy. I think your journey and what you're doing in helping people is going to be transformational. Your energy is amazing, and I'm a big boxing fan, and
Really?
I feel like getting my pads
Yeah,
on and actually having a box. And Delroy, amazing. I think you're doing amazing things. Keep up the good work because
Thank you. I appreciate
it is amazing.
And thank you so much. And it's goodbye from myself, Joanna Chong.
And Monty Fanasa.
Thank you guys for having me.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.